Thank you, Johannes. Thank you, Lars, Gunther, for inviting me here today. So again, my name is Karen Sedmeyer with UN Environment, the Post-Conflict Disaster Management Branch in Geneva. I'm delighted to be here today amongst friends. I see a lot of familiar faces. It's not my first time coming to Cologne. Actually, we started our collaboration back in 2012 after some of the colleagues from TH Cologne, Cologne University of Applied Science, hope I got that right, came to us at the Partnership for Environment and Disaster Risk Reduction, which is a global alliance of 25 international organizations and academic institutions working together, advocating ecosystem-based disaster risk reduction and adaptation through science, through evidence-based science. Came to us saying, you know, that's a really interesting topic. How can we work together? And we said, well, hey, why don't we develop a master's course? And we did in 9 months. We created a baby in 9 months, a master's course, and it's now been translated into Spanish. This master's course is now taught in over 50 universities worldwide, at least some parts of it. So basically, this course looks at disaster risk reduction, the fundamentals of it. It looks at ecosystems. It looks at how they're linked. How can healthy ecosystems, such as forests on steep slopes, help reduce the impacts of mountain hazards, for example? How can coastal vegetation, such as mangroves, help reduce coastal erosion, etc.? We have case studies from around the world. We have a lot of the CNRD partners, many of them who are here today, who contributed with case studies. We developed a case study source book, and then we realized, you know, we can reach so many more people, and we can reduce our global footprint if we go online. This was a new adventure for all of us, and with the support of, I would say mainly from TH Cologne, would really like to thank them once again for all of their leadership and financial support coming from your donors that enabled us to do this, put together this MOOC. Disasters and Ecosystems, Resilience in a Changing Climate. We also had some financial support from Eye on Earth program with some support from the European Commission. So we launched this MOOC in January 2015, and we actually had over 12,000 people signing up for it, which was amazing. We had not expected this kind of turnout, and it was even more amazing is that during the course of this MOOC, somebody created a Facebook page, one of the participants. Now we have over 13,683, last time I checked, people following us on Facebook. So not only did a lot of people take this course, but it created a community of practice with lots of really high quality postings that have been happening almost on a daily basis, with jobs, with information on how can we promote this idea of ecosystem-based disaster risk reduction adaptation. So since we launched this MOOC, a lot has happened. Well, my hair has gone gray, that's one thing, but it's not because of the MOOC. The Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction was signed in 2015. And for the first time ever, it includes language on how to promote ecosystem-based disaster risk reduction. The Convention on Biological Diversity since 2015 mentions ecosystem-based adaptation and disaster risk reduction. The Ramsar Declaration on Wetlands talks about disaster risk reduction. There's a lot of momentum building on this topic. And a lot of the students, the practitioners, academics, university professors who took our class, our course, but especially the university professors and practitioners came to us saying, how can we do more? How can we take a class on this? How can we take a master's course on this? How can we advocate for this? So there was a lot of requests actually to bring the MOOC back. So I would like to thank again Lars, the TH Cologne, and especially Gunther for having had the energy to put this back on a different platform with our partners, the Asian Disaster Preparedness Center. They're also part of this PEDR network. And I would also especially like to thank our colleague Hamid at ADPC for helping us put this MOOC back on this new platform. So with that, I would like to thank Our hosts, again, I also like to thank some of our own staff at UN Environment. A lot of the interns have put in a lot of time into helping it get this back up on air. And the same MOOC is back. There are a couple of new surprises, a couple of new interviews. The fundamentals of the course are still there. And what I would like to say in closing is let's stay connected. Please join us, find more information about this topic at, I'll make a little bit of advertisement, at www.pedrr, which stands for PEDR, which is our partnership, .org. And you can find more information on publications. We have a Facebook, a LinkedIn, etc. So join our community of practice, join our course, and please help spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And first, my name is Simone Santos. I'm with United Nations University. So thanks, Lars and Günther, for the invitation. And I would consider myself as one of the dinosaurs of this MOOC, who has been there from the very beginning. At that time, still with CNRD, but now even with the new affiliation, I'm still with that EcoDRR topic, maybe also being one of the cases where you can see that working on this topic can really make a difference and can even be spread around and spread to different institutions. So today I do see many familiar faces, and I'm just one of the representatives who has contributed to this MOOC, and many of the people in this room have contributed with case studies, with supporting teaching materials and so on, so that is great being here. And today for the relaunch, I'm supposed to talk at least briefly on how this is going to happen. So from today on, you can enroll in the MOOC, which is divided into two different, let's say, tracks. So if you really want to become a leader, do the leadership track. It doesn't cost you much of time, but you can really learn a lot on this ecosystem-based disaster risk reduction, which is structured then in 6 different units, which will teach you a bit on what are the principles, what are the definitions, what are also the linkages between healthy ecosystems and disaster risk reduction. We'll link that to post-2015 agenda, as Karen already mentioned. And well, we think it's fun, it's worth taking that MOOC, as 12,000 participants in the first round have already proven. And well, 6 units, each around 30 minutes, with different funny assets, like some funny quizzes, some extra videos, and so on. So from today on, Karen already mentioned the website, and you can read it up there. And then if you want to go into more detail, you can then later on go for the expert track, which you will launch then in November, as far as I believe, and November 20, then in Indonesia. So that'll be great. I think Günther will talk a bit more about the very details. And there you can learn a bit more about really how EcoDRR in different ecosystems and different settings can make a difference, and how far it has already been proven to be effective. We also link it very much to water security, like flood risk reduction, how this can be done with, for instance, healthy mangrove ecosystems. So we all had fun putting this MOOC together. Of course, it was sometimes stressful, but in the end we all learned a lot. It was much fun, and we hope you will have fun taking that MOOC.
Thank you very much. I also want to thank everybody in the room who contributed actually to the material of the MOOC, and I want to especially thank to all the team who made it possible that the course can be now online again, especially also our partners from ADPC. So since 15 minutes, the course is online. So people already registered before. We actually didn't make so much marketing yet, but just some minutes ago, there were already more than 1,000 people on the platform. So it's actually quite active. I'm actually surprised with that short time of marketing. So I want to talk a little bit about the platform, where we put it on. It's the Open edX platform. Maybe some of you know these edX courses, and they luckily made this course platform as an open source platform now, and ADPC is running that platform. And what you're going to find on the platform, you will find lecture videos where you see, for example, these 3 persons beside me and some more, and we have a lot of background documents and readers text documents. There is a chat where people can chat on the topics. They can give us feedbacks and so on. So different features to, let's say, to collaborate and interact on the platform to make it alive. And I hope many of you subscribe to the MOOC to have a look inside, to contribute your knowledge and expertise, especially in the discussion forums. So we would be really very happy about that. One more thing is, what is also new compared to the previous launch of the MOOC is, we have also now mobile apps available. So one is for the Android, there's a mobile app, so you can download that. There's a link for that, and very soon also for the iPhone there will be an app, and that will be quite convenient because you can download easily the materials. So thank you very much again, and I will hand over to Lars Ribbe.
Yeah, thank you very much. Especially thank you, Günther, for making this possible, because these technical details actually require much more work usually than you initially thought, and I think you had to struggle a lot to make it possible to launch it technically today. The numbers are quite amazing in a short time to have already 1,000 people on the platform. I hope that we can also satisfy their demands and attract even more people. Also, thanks a lot to Karen in particular, and UN Environment in a broader sense, but also to the PEDA network. I think it's also something that changed. Now we talk about UN Environment. You know, it used to be UNEP. The partner used to be UNEP, and now I think the correct wording is UN Environment. You know, it's something that changed in the last 2 years. And of course, thanks to Simone at that time being part of the core team here, but still, of course, being in the team, no matter where you are, you will always be part of that team. And now at UNU, I think it's a important, let's say, characteristic that we work together closely and extremely well between the institutions and also people. I think that is always the recipe of, let's say, a successful project is always to work together in an effective and smooth way. Thanks to all of you, and there are of course more people involved in that. Even Achim Steiner contributed at that time by giving a, let's say, video message to us, and many more people without obtaining a salary for that. So I just want to reflect a little bit on the meaning of such a MOOC for us. That means as the academic community, perhaps, or institute doing research and education, and of course also to see what is the link to this conference. You may ask, okay, ecosystems, disasters, it's not part of the conference name. Nevertheless, I think you all agree that ecosystems play a very key role in the two topics. We don't have to, I think, elaborate much further on that. And of course, disasters also, if you think about climate change, you immediately also think about many climate-related disasters in recent days, but actually in the recent years, in virtually all regions that you are coming from, we had examples of that, sometimes with very cruel results, being floods or the impacts of droughts, storms, etc. So the question is, how can we benefit, especially from the management of ecosystems, to mitigate disasters, but also to contribute to water security? I think it's not the particular focus of this MOOC is not water security, but of course they are related, and often we have here the classical win-win situation. Just think about maintaining the sources of water supply, upper catchments. If you maintain the ecosystems providing water, you will have, of course, a contribution to providing clear water and also reliable discharge, because ecosystems contribute also to the flow attenuation of a system. But at the same time, you will also have a higher drought resilience if you achieve that. So in that case, investing in ecosystems is contributing to a lot of beneficial factors. And here I don't mention, for example, the additional benefit for biodiversity, which is, of course, an added value beyond the effects that we just discussed. And this is just one example, and the MOOC is explaining many others how we can protect us from disasters by managing ecosystem in a wiser way. And I think that is it's a message that we need to bring to our students, but also to the decision makers. And sometimes these decisions are, from an economic or financial point of view, much wiser than hard infrastructure. We are not promoting to leave hard infrastructure investments, of course. It needs to be always a combination. You cannot replace the storage reservoirs providing 100% by natural infrastructure in most cases. But as an addition, it is a very wise investment. And this is what we try to bring across with that course. And it's, of course, something we also insert in our education. And with that, I think there's an immediate benefit from this master course, from this massive open online course, that we developed it for the mass access, but also, of course, we benefit a lot for our master programs. Now, with this MOOC, we can reach, as we have learned, more than 10,000 people at once. Of course, that's a huge impact. We don't know exactly how effective that is, how many of these people really were just sitting in front of the computer and paying attention perhaps to something else, or really finished the course. And of course, we know the numbers of people who had access until the end, but even then, it's difficult to do some thorough assessment about the learning achievement. So there are a lot of questions related to MOOCs, and we have a lot of discussions also about the effectiveness of this kind of learning. But for sure, it is an addition, a very important addition to the traditional, let's say, face-to-face models of learning. We also need virtual forms of learning and teaching. And as you mentioned already, of course, contributing also to a form of learning, perhaps where experts or students don't have to travel over long distances. So that's for sure also contributing to a lower carbon or water footprint. So I think providing, in our case, so many people with access to that knowledge is a, let's say, achievement that is very valuable for us. Of course, our main mandate is to teach students who come, and that is, to strictly speaking, students from Germany and Europe. That is our, let's say, clear mandate. But in a wider sense, our mandate is, of course, also to share knowledge and to transfer knowledge to other people. And for that, such a MOOC is very beneficial, for sure. And just to give you the number, we are receiving 90 students in our 3 master programs at ITT each year. So this is 90 versus more than 10,000. And I think it's easy to see that it has a very high added value. So these are some reflections on what such a MOOC can, let's say, promote. And I'm very happy that we could offer it for a second time. As you said, the original platform, iVersity, was not available anymore, so it was a big challenge. But we are very happy now with ADPC to have another very strong partner. And actually they receive some funding from NASA again in the Mekong Servier program, which is funding the server that is running it. So somehow we are also joining forces with others here in a very cooperative way, I have to say. There was no, let's say, they didn't charge us, as far as I know, for this service. So a very collaborative way again. And this is what we need, join forces to achieve results. Thank you very much. And I hand over.
Okay, I think this is a very intriguing offer also for you. And before we go for the next intriguing offer, which is outside the door, I would just shortly open the floor if you have some questions, and also well, first ask for questions. Is there any questions regarding the MOOC, how it's set up, how you can access it, or stuff like that from the audience? Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to add, just to let you know that we're opening up the MOOC from now until March, I believe, Gunther. So it'll be student-led, so it means that it's open. You can take it anytime you want. The expert track after November 20th, I believe, will make it instructor-led, which means that we instructors will be there following, and it will be only open for a certain number of weeks, and there will be assignments. I just wanted to follow up on Lars' comment on the value added of MOOCs to universities, because there's a large, I think, discussion about that in academia. And I only know that we received so many requests from students asking where they can take this course in an academic setting. A lot of them I turn to your university because it is one of the few that actually offers this course. So there was a lot of, I would say, publicity or a lot of reference made to TH Cologne and in order to be able to offer this course. And I would just also like to mention that, you know, these big frameworks that have now been signed, governments are now looking for support, technical support in how to apply these ecosystem-based principles that are now in the texts. They're looking towards practitioners, looking towards academics, they're looking towards students. We all need to contribute to help figure out how to apply these concepts that are now on paper and more in practice. So although we've come a far way, there's still more to do and there's still farther way to go. So thank you.
So we want to use that chance, of course, for marketing. So we have some flyers here. I show them. I put them outside, and I would really ask you to take them and use, not only to take them, enroll in the course and especially share that with others. Because I think if now all of you write to 10 people just, yeah? I think there are more than 100 people, 180 or something like that, 150 people in the room. So if you share that with just 10 people in your mailing list, yeah, we have already more than 1,000 people. And that can really have a great impact. So please, be so kind. Use your, send it to your friends and co-workers and so on and colleagues. And make them aware about that course and ask them to join the course. So thank you very much. You will find the flyers outside.
Well then, thanks.